What's the penalty for careless driving? Well, careless driving carries a potential disqualification of 2 years. It can carry a disqualification of up to 4 years if you've been convicted twice or more of careless driving in the previous 3 years. But if it's your first time coming to court for careless driving, as it is for most people, then the judge has a discretion not to disqualify you. And that discretion then is based on the arguments that your lawyer brings to court on your behalf to persuade the judge not to disqualify you if it's your first time coming to court for careless driving. Is careless driving a criminal offence? Yeah, it is a criminal offence, but it's treated slightly differently to other types of offences. First of all, it's a road traffic offence. Secondly, it's not an offence that requires intention. The prosecution don't have to prove that you intended to drive in the way that you did. They just have to prove that you knew what you were doing when you were driving. It's separated from other criminal offences because of the lack of intent required. Most offences require the state to prove that you intended to commit the act. In careless driving, intention isn't required. You can't commit theft unless you intended to steal. You can't commit deception unless you intended to deceive someone. You can't commit an assault unless you intended to assault them. But you can commit careless driving even if you didn't intend to drive carelessly. Careless driving causing death or serious injury, it's an unusual charge. It's not one that's brought very often. It's prosecuted in the circuit court, which is the court above the district court. It's prosecuted in there because serious charges are brought into that court. If you're found guilty of death caused by careless driving or serious bodily harm caused by careless driving, the potential penalties include a term of imprisonment of 2 years and a fine of €10,000 or both.